The 1960s was one of the most exciting periods of cinema in Hollywood. Shining young actors, big stars, and legendary films. But behind all this, hidden tragedies and events were taking place. Today we will discover how the life of Sharon Tate, one of the rising stars of that period, ended tragically. Sharon Tate was born on 24 January 1943 in Dallas. In fact, Tate's beauty was recognized from childhood. Thus, she won the first prize in the baby beauty contest she participated in when she was only 6 months old. Tate was known at home as a very shy and quiet boy. But despite this, she impressed everyone with her beauty. At the age of 21, Tate decided to take her first steps into Hollywood. In 1964, he auditioned to play opposite Steve McQueen in the film The Cincinnati Kid. However, she was excluded from the election due to her inexperience. Tate participated in small TV films to gain experience. The documentary All Eyes on Sharon Tate was released around the same time for promotional purposes. After this film, Tate and London's fashion world and nightclubs became interested in her. In one of these clubs, she met Roman Polanski. At the time, Polanski was looking for an actress to direct fearless vampire killers. Martin Ransohoff, the director of the film, recommended Tate to him. Polanski hired Tate after seeing her beauty. Polanski played the boy who fell in love with Tate in the film. Although he did not fall in love with Tate at first, he fell in love with her during filming. Tate moved into Polanski's house for the shoot. Polanski was too embarrassed to tell her. Newspapers wrote that Tate and Polanski became lovers after such a film. Even Tate could no longer hide his feelings, and they confessed their love for each other. Tate said they could stay in a place like this without getting married after they returned to London. In any case, they were married on 29th January 1968 in London. Everything was going very well for them. During this period, Tate took lessons from Bruce Lee and starred in the comedy film The Wrecking Crew. Following this, Tate became pregnant and decided to withdraw from the stage for a while. 8th of August 1968, 2 weeks before Tate's birthday. At dinner that day were fellow actresses Joanna Pettit and Barbara Lewis. Polanski called the Tate at 8 p.m. to say he'd be late. That's why she wanted to stay with her sisters, Patty and Debra Tate. But Tate said it wasn't necessary and sent them away. Polanski, who came home late at night, was distraught at the sight he saw. Tate was murdered. They hit her with a rope and inflicted 16 stab wounds, 5 of which were fatal. Shocked by this scene, Polanski falls into paranoia. In November 1969, imprisoned Susan Atkins announced her involvement in the murder of Sharon Tate and named her accomplices. In 1970, the trial of their leader Charles Manson and 4 others began. According to Linda Kasabian's confessions, Charles Manson was a fan of the Beatles and was convinced that they foretold the end of the world. His chosen family would survive the apocalypse. When Manson, a musician, failed in the music industry, he decided to sacrifice rich people and gave 4 members the address and ordered them to kill everyone there. As the group climbed the fence, they encountered Stephen Parent parking his car. Parent begged them not to say anything, but Charles Watson shot him 4 times and stabbed him to death. Kasabian was on lookout when Atkins, Watson, and Patricia Krenwinkel came in. When he asked the 4 people in the house to lie down, Jay Sebring told them that Tate was pregnant and asked them not to hurt her. Watson immediately killed Sebring. Wojciech Frykowski and Abigail Folger escaped and ran towards the front door from different directions, but were caught and killed. Sharon Tate gave birth to their son and begged to die, but Atkins and Watson stabbed her to death and wrote "pig" on the front door with her blood. For years, the Tate family has been collecting signatures to keep the Manson killers out of jail. Her mother, Doris Tate, founded the Murder Victims Association, a charity organization.